what we're talking about, and what we have gotten out about it. There actually is a piece of news we do have to pass down for the San Francisco Giants. They have traded Dalton Jeffries for Pirates outfielder Rodolfo Nolasco, and they've also moved Mitch White, who attended Santa Clara, former top 10 round pick by the Dodgers, to the Milwaukee Brewers for cash considerations. So they made a couple moves, Goo.
Yeah, I don't have much intel on our guy coming back for the Giants.
You got anything on cash considerations?
Just spend it wisely.
Yeah, can play left field.
Put it up.
You put some dollar bills out left.
There you go.
Yeah. But I think, look, this last hour here on Friday, we're having some fun. Again, Evan Inferstein with Goo. We're having some fun. We got our question of the day coming up. We got a few in the chamber. We've talked about Mother's Day. My mom says hello, by the way, Goo. She's
Nancy, hello, Nancy.
Yep, she loves you.
I'm good with that.
She's listening. And then we also have something I want to debut now, which is something you brought to the table, and I apologize for not teasing it enough, but one of the things that is, I think, a big part of the viewing experience in sports is the studio shows.
Oh, my God.
The pre- and post game. Shout out Bonte Hill. Does a great job on NBC Sports Bay Area. I look forward to watching those guys because they set up, and women, they set up what's going on pre-post. Inside the NBA has been must-watch television for the better part of a quarter century. And that very may well be coming to an end because unless Turner Sports matches and increases the $2.5 billion per year offer that NBC put on the table, the NBA rights beyond, I think, next season are going to be ESPN, Amazon, and NBC. TNT will be out. We know that Ernie Johnson has said he's never leaving Turner Sports. Charles Barkley said he's going to be a free agent. This means that studio show, which has been a big part of my life and yours, Goo, is up for grabs.
Man.
And who's going to be the ones to take it? It sounds like you got an idea, though, of 4 people that you would like to see.
Yeah, and this is just paying homage to what they've done and created in the last 2 weeks. You tell me if I'm wrong, Evan. It was Drake, Kendrick, and then it was possibly the Inside the NBA in the future. And you don't even know this, and I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
I drove home after Tuesday's show when you told Steiny, I, and the listeners what this show was like to you, and it hit me. You said Inside the NBA, if you don't remember, was your Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, my goodness. That hit me like that's gravity. That's real. So I took it upon myself, not being negative, because I don't think we know for sure that NBC or TNT's Turner's losing it.
But there's going to be a void, potentially.
Yes, sir.
There might be a new studio show. So it's you got 4 people, again, Shaq, Kenny, EJ, Chuck.
Great.
We got 4 openings.
Yes, sir. Here we go.
Who is your new Inside the NBA
Dude, and I feel like I really hired these people and called them. So replacing the great Ernie Johnson.
Okay.
Here we go. Welcome, Nick Wright.
I don't mind that at all, actually.
I think Nick Wright, he can play different.
Not bad.
He can play off the ball. I know he's strong and has opinions, but don't even say it like he's got too many.
He's opinionated.
But I think I watch his little show, First Things First. He could do it. So Ernie Johnson would be, the new Ernie would be Nick Wright. Okay. Kenny Smith, shout out North Carolina.
So he's still in?
No, the new Kenny Smith. They're all out. Yeah, all right. The new Kenny Smith is Jay Crossover, who's actually on there now. I like his stilo, his lexicon. I learn something about the game every time. So I'm telling you, Jamal Crawford, you are the new Kenny Smith. Now for Shaq, it is the one and only Kendrick Perkins.
Talk to me.
KP, I thought he was the worst. He's special now. Like I don't agree with him, but I watch. And I'm like, you know what, KP, it's time for you to be on the big time. And the new Charles, did I say Shaq or Chuck? I done messed it all up.
Kendrick is Shaq.
Okay.
And then you got Kenny is Jamal.
Barkley.
So Barkley. The new Barkley. Boy, that's the toughest seat to fill.
This is it. Shout out Saginaw. It is Draymond Green. He would round out the 4, and you're telling me Nick Wright, Draymond Green, Jay Crossover, and Kendrick Perkins? Come on, Kay. Give me some love on that before Evan just says, I don't know, Goo.
If we can hit him with the applause.
It would make for really interesting TV.
Could you imagine?
I'll give you that.
I will say the Draymond choice.
Oh, Dre. You ain't done yet. But
I don't know who else is of a Charles Barkley mold. I mean, he's an original. He's a one of one.
And him and Kendrick, could you imagine? It would be like Shaq and Chuck going at it. Shut up, fool.
Probably.
They would be going at it. So I thought of that too.
See, but this is part of it, though, and I think it speaks to how iconic and great the show is. Every single person that you just named, I feel like has been getting negative feedback, because how can you replace these legends? I mean, it's like trying to replace Vince Scully or something. It's just impossible to do.
I'm getting hate mail.
I mean, I think Draymond's a great choice because I think he's one of the few polarizing media people that would be up to the task. And also, like, to be honest, or to be fair, this show did take some time to grow into what it was. I mean, it's taken 25 years.
You're preaching now.
I didn't start watching Inside the NBA until I was probably in high school, and that's when it was just Kenny, Chuck, and EJ. Yeah. I think Shaq joined in 2011.
I loved it then.
So I think those guys, also the dynamic that you put together, I don't know how Nick Wright would be as a host, because he's going to get some takes off that are pretty incendiary, but I think the dynamic of, like, I think Jamal Crawford is honestly perfect as the Kenny spot, because Kenny is not a hot take artist, but he's someone that's okay with laughing at himself. He's self-deprecating, all the rest.
Right.
And Crawford is very smart, too. Great warrior. And
look at you.
I like Draymond. The other two seats, it's
I'm getting a little hate mail. A lot of people out on Perkins.
Kendrick doesn't laugh at himself enough for me.
You know what? I think that's a great critique. I hadn't thought of that. But Stephen A. rips him sometimes. I watch him. You got to laugh, but that would be my 4.
They are truly,
so you said,
in their own way, irreplaceable.
Kenny's not going to do what Chuck's doing. Now, this scares me. If they're done, you said, it sounded like you said Ernie is on record as saying he'll never go to another network.
No, and I think that's just the relationship he has with Turner. Because his father was the longtime Atlanta Braves announcer, Ernie Johnson Sr.
Gotcha.
When it was on Turner Sports. So he's got kind of a familial,
I'm old enough to know,
relationship. I mean, so he's never leaving Turner. I think he's also like 68
So it'll
or 69.
never be the same then, Evan?
Nothing will ever be the same. I mean, we're talking about the Warriors.
But I do like that dynamic with Draymond and Kendrick, and then Dre to balance it out, and Nick Wright.
Draymond's the balancing act?
No, Jay crossover. Yeah,
Jamal.
He'd be Kenny Smith.
I like that.
But Kendrick and Dre getting into it. Oh, you wasn't no good.
I don't know if there's a host that can do what Ernie does. It's just so hard. Like, even the guy they have now, it's kind of the JV squad.
I thought I liked him. Go ahead.
Lefko?
Yeah.
He just makes it too much about himself.
Yeah, and the sneakers. Now, JJ Redick couldn't lead this. If I replaced Nick Wright with JJ Redick, would it work? But then now we got all former players. You got to have the Ernie Johnson.
Maybe that's the way to go. If there is someone that's able to host, it might be JJ. I'm just not sure. I mean, you
see you hosting.
Well, I don't know if I can do that.
Being a point guard, getting everybody involved. Evan, don't be shy.
Steve Blake. I don't know if I could do that. That is a set of shoes that actually I wouldn't want to fill.
The culture is not ready for the show to end. And I know I'm not going way to go out on a limb, Goo. I mean, this is
all good things.
This is after the games. And I got to be honest, no shade at ESPN. I hate yesterday in the games. I like the people broadcasting, but Evan, and I love our guy Bob Myers, because it's not even at his doorstep, but I hate when I can't go to bed hearing what Barkley, Ernie, Kenny, and Chuck had to say.
There's some times where I'll just watch the post game.
That's a thing.
Like, that's the game. That's why I guess I phrased it as the Monday Night Football.
Thing.
It's appointment television. Yeah, I want to see those guys because they're always going to be. It might not even be about basketball. Like, actually, that's the one thing. So if I was to critique your list of 4, it would be too much about basketball. Like, that's the beauty of the show in a way, is that they can get into things that have nothing to do with the
Ernie's
sport.
the greatest, right?
Yes. Well, because
being able to deal with all 3 of, I mean, come on now.
But he also has the respect of all of them because he's the OG.
Damn.
So I don't know if there's somebody else out there.
Stephen A., don't be mad. Yeah, anybody that didn't make the list.
No, he's got his own show to
No doubt about it. A couple shows.
Bob Myers is killing it, by the way, the other night.
I hope this don't get to Bob. Because he could have been like, Goo, you didn't have me in. Now I'm thinking of Bob.
What do you mean?
Well, he's got a job. Like, he didn't make the 4. If he
I don't know if he'd want that.
Yeah, he's accounted for. He's spoken for.
Well, he's also more of a. Well, no, that's a good point. I don't know how he'd be on a studio show. where it'd be his job to both entertain and deliver opinions and takes. I think he's pretty good smart.
At it. Yeah, no, he does a good job.
He's an affable guy. I like Bob.
Can I give you, if you don't mind, I know it's Freaky Friday,
it's your show.
Friday. I've been hearing a lot of, I don't think it's intentional slander, but I've been hearing a lot of where Steph Curry's at in his career.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
And I don't wear Steph Curry to dunts, but I just know what I saw last year, and now as you age, there's no shame in this. We all need a little more help. And I think what's rotting away around Steph has people twisted in regard to where Steph's at.
Okay.
Can I give you, and you tell me what you think, and who I omitted, can I give you the only guys in the league right now that I would take over Steph Curry?
Okay, so we're just talking about best players in the league.
Guys right now that I would take over Steph.
Okay.
And age is a part of this. Okay, Giannis.
Yep.
Any problem with that?
No.
Luka.
Agree.
SGA.
Agree.
Okay. Jokic.
Agree.
We're at 4. Number 5, Ant-Man.
Agree. Yeah.
Whoa, what? Now, I'm blown away you went there.
It's his 3rd season. A lot of time left in the playoffs.
His league.
I didn't say it's his league.
I said it, but but it felt, dude, I thought you were in awe of what we're... So you're saying you would take Curry right now, I'm going Steiny, as opposed to Ant in his future and his age?
Oh, no. And as far as his future, I thought you were just talking about players in regards to like their seasons.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, I'm taking everything into it.
And Ant might be on the second team over Steph, but I think they had comparable seasons.
Okay. Booker?
That one's pretty close.
But the compliment to you is you're thinking about that.
Yeah, okay. I think Steph had a better year than Booker.
Okay, Zion.
I think Steph had a better year than Zion.
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis. AD, man. Well, he played a lot of games this year. Yeah, maybe.
And Embiid.
Embiid, yes. Although he didn't play a lot this year though.
And the last one, those are 9. The 10th is Tatum, and I kind of fought myself. Only went because of age, and he's a two-way player. But Evan, the whole gist of that is Steph's still top tier. And I know you haven't said he's not, but I just feel like, we're talking about Steph like...
I didn't hear Bron.
I wouldn't take... he didn't make it.
So this is just...
Bron's got a year left.
Are these players you're taking moving forward?
Yes, sir. They're
okay.
Yeah, so that's why a lot of them right now, like your aunt, when I say, you know what, it's everything, the age is what gets them in the club. But my whole point on doing that, Evan, is I'm hearing it on TV. Steph is still fire.
He is. So I guess here are players that I think had better years than Curry. Doncic.
Check.
Antetokounmpo.
Check. Well, yeah, check. He got hurt then.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Should have been MVP.
I think Durant had a better year than Curry did.
I'm not mad at that. I wouldn't take Durant's future, though. I'm taking Steph to age better, but
Same.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. Tatum.
5.
Jokic.
I'm not mad at anything yet.
Jalen Brunson.
Now that...
I think Jalen Brunson's going to finish higher than him on the All-NBA teams.
I know. I would be fronting if I said Brunson didn't have a better season. But do you think this is who the real Jalen Brunson is? Now, mind you, when I was a big fan of his, and I still am, he was with Luka, and they went to the Western Conference Finals, got bounced by our Warriors. Evan, are you so sure what you're seeing in Brunson, the staying power is there to where would you take him over Steph right now, even in age being a part of it?
No, but
see, that's where I'm like,
But I think he had a better season than
I'll
him.
give you that.
The two I'd be on the fence about. Number one, Ant. Ant was incredible this season. The other guy is Tyrese Maxey. I think Tyrese Maxey had a very, very good season for a team that was missing its number one option.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, Steph is still
disrespect, no shade, Maxey,
top 12, top 10.
Yeah, that was the whole gist. The 15 was the whole thing. So, like, he's not your problem. And if you want to say we got a top 12 or 15, wherever you have him slotted at, that's not our problem. Operation get him the best help possible. Not youngest, best. B-E-S-T. And I think there's a difference there. Because if you think you're going to go get an Anthony Edwards or some young rookie hotshot who's got both, Evan, those guys are spoken for. You're going to have to get a hired gun. Like a Durant, if he's available, like a PG-13. I don't think you can get the best of both worlds. Or a LeBron James, who's almost in a wheelchair and just defying odds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The young and being a baller, you're not getting that.
I mean, yeah, if you look at this list, there are a lot of teams with more help. And I'm just looking at lists based on like top players. But, I mean, Booker and Durant are both out. They didn't win a game in the playoffs. Tyrese Maxey is sitting on his couch. De'Aaron Fox I wouldn't say he had a better year than Curry, but some people could make that argument. He didn't make the playoffs. Are all those guys that need more help? I mean, for their respective teams? I just wondering. I mean, I know you'd love to. You're talking about going out and trying to acquire a Durant, but Curry's right now amidst, I would say, 4 or 5 really, really good players. Top 15. I think Curry's closer to top 10 than top 15. But those players I just talked about are also probably looking around and wondering, where am I going to get some more help?
Wow.
And it's not out there. So I think it's hard.
How much of me going down real quick here? How much of me going down memory lane? The fact that we know what Durant did. I don't care about the year and when it was. I know it was in the past, but the fact that they made sweet music and went to 3 straight NBA finals. Could I make the case with that? Is that different than saying, oh, go get LeBron or PG-13 when it would all be brand new? Reinserting KD to this nucleus now when you need him more than ever, I feel like both parties need each other. Isn't that different than just bringing a new booty for the first time? And then we got to say, but it's Durant. You back to back and almost three-peated with them. Evan, that's what's Halle Berry to me. That's what's attractive.
What I'm hung up on is I thought you said Durant and sweep music because he got swept. But you said sweet. I apologize. I was hung up on that.
Yeah, but they didn't have a point guard. He looked good.
Warriors might need a point guard.
Well, Pods.
Is he going to start?
Now, let's go back to Pods. My one thing.
Uh-oh.
Him leading your team in plus minus.
Yeah.
When it was all said and done, the team he led didn't make the playoffs. No indictment, because I love the kid. But, Evan, is that a bad sign about where the Warriors are, that a rookie could come in here and lead your team in plus minus, and that team, from a standpoint of success, didn't make the playoffs? Is there any correlation? And it's not. And the last is on Pods. It's not on Pods. I'm looking at everybody else.
Yeah, I think it's an indictment of your starters because Pods didn't start for most of the season. He did have a period in which he started, but the second unit was the most consistent part about the team. So I think that's a larger reflection of the issues here. I'm actually to kind of bring it back to your studio host.
What we got?
Your core 4. So here's one from the 650 Xfinity Mobile text line. Greeny would be the host.
I love me some
Don't mind
Greeny.
that at all.
Damn.
Draymond, ding ding, count the bucket. And then 2 more. This one's interesting. Chris Broussard and Boban would be the 4th. I think he's pretty funny. And I don't know if he could host an NBA show.
What about his analysis, though? And I'm picturing his ears. He looked like
do you really go to Inside the NBA to listen to Shaq break down a pick and roll?
Well, I know they were badass. So even if you're
that's true.
A C+ analysis, it's coming from I was the stud.
That's true. I mean,
Boban was just tall.
Boban's got some IMDb credits, is what he's got. This was also I'm 100% with Man of 1005 Holds on YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. I got Candace Parker as the new host. She just retired, by the way. She's available.
No doubt.
I think she's really good.
She fills in with your guy, the backup Ernie Johnson that you mentioned. Lefko. I forget it. I love you, young mind.
Yeah, I can't.
But I'm not mad at her.
I like Candace.
What about Fitz? Somebody saying Fitz and Perkins. Fitz can run it. Vontae can run it.
Yeah, Vontae can run it.
If you can run what you're doing there, you can run it. People will just be like, who are you?
Fitz is an incredible play-by-play broadcaster.
Okay.
That's all I'll say. 888-957-9570 is the number. Again, on the other side, we got our question of the day. If you want to chime in, if you have a suggestion of what we should answer, we are taking all questions now. If you want to respond on Twitter, we're also streaming live. Go there. If you want to text in, 888-9570, 888-957-9570 is the Xfinity mobile text line. We're also taking them on YouTube. And, Goo, I think we got a good one today.
We're
taking suggestions, but in case we don't get one we like, we'll put it in the what does Steiny say, the hopper.
There you go.
I don't even know what that is.
In the cap.
Shout out Dennis. And we'll use that in the future because this is going to be a Friday thing, a Friday two-short segment thing that we will be doing every single Friday here on Steiny Guru on 95.7 The Game.